The USS Maine. The USS Maine blew up on the night of February 15, 1898. 268 Americans lost their lives. That part, no one argues. After that, the story became unclear and complicated. Havana Harbor was quiet that night. The sailors were asleep. Some had probably been writing letters home or complaining about the food. Someone else was likely thinking about a sweetheart back home. Then the ship exploded. Steel twisted and tore. Fire shot up into the night, and the men on board went from thinking about tomorrow to not having a tomorrow at all. History has a habit of using that as an opening paragraph. Within hours, the Maine wasn't merely a ship anymore. It was a unifying cry. Remember the Maine. People love slogans like that because they're quick, easy, and do the thinking for us. What's funny is, America was already eager to play a bigger role in the world. The Maine just showed up at the perfect time to become everyone's favorite reason. Not long before, the US Navy wasn't much to look at. It still felt like something left over from the Civil War, like an old-timer who claims his best suit fits if he just sucks it in. Then Brazil launched the Riachuelo. Americans realized someone else had the flashier fleet. Then Alfred Thayer Mahan wrote a book all about how great nations need big navies. Americans snapped it up, the way people today buy books promising six-pack abs in a month. Congress opened its wallet, steel replaced wood, and suddenly battleships were everywhere. The Maine was one of them. It took almost 10 years to build the Maine, which is surprising since technology was changing faster than the shipyards could keep up. By the time she set sail in 1895, she was already a bit out of date. History is full of pricey machines that show up just in time to be old news. Meanwhile, Cuba was coming apart at the seams. Spain wanted to keep its colony. Cuban revolutionaries wanted freedom. Regular people got stuck in the crossfire whenever politicians start talking about honor. President William McKinley wanted peace. Newspapers knew they could sell more copies with talk of war. He sent the Maine to Havana as a show of protection. Warships make for strange diplomats. It's as though trying to calm your neighbor by parking a tank in their driveway. On February 15, the explosion came. Nobody knew exactly why. That lasted almost 5 minutes. An official American investigation said something outside the ship set off the explosion, but they never figured out who did it. Spanish investigators thought a fire in the coal bunkers set off the blast. Neither side had enough proof to convince anyone else. Evidence wasn't winning the race anyway. William Randolph Hearst and Joseph Pulitzer packed their newspapers with stories so dramatic the facts seemed dull by comparison. Spain got cast as the bad guy. Remember the Maine was everywhere because slogans move faster than doubt. People like certainty, even if it's fake. Congress declared war in April. It was a short war. Spain lost an empire. The United States found one. Puerto Rico, Guam, the Philippines. Cuba became independent and stayed close enough for Washington to keep watch. America began by tossing tea into Boston Harbor to protest distant rulers, and later discovered that having faraway possessions had its perks. Years went by. The wreck was raised. Questions persisted. Then Admiral Hyman Rickover showed up. He wasn't a fan of comforting stories. He reopened the case and decided it was probably a coal bunker fire inside the ship that set off the explosion. In 1998, another team tried computer models to figure it out. They still didn't get a clear answer. Turns out the ocean is great at keeping secrets. By then, it didn't matter. The war was over, cemeteries were full, flags had been waved, and empires had changed hands. History doesn't wait for lab results. The story of the Maine isn't really about who set off the explosion. It's about what people do when they don't have answers. Sometimes they dig for facts. Sometimes they just guess. Sometimes they can't tell the difference. If enough people repeat the guess loudly enough, pretty soon it starts looking like the truth. The sailors on the Maine deserve better than being turned into a slogan for a war. They deserved for their deaths to be understood before anyone started explaining them away. History owes them that, and us too. There's always going to be another explosion somewhere. Another headline, another slogan, another crowd ready to say that pausing is weak and being sure is brave. The hard part is admitting that sometimes the world won't give you answers when you want them. That's frustrating. It might keep you from starting a war over a question mark.